yoga breaths. There's nothing more powerful to me than using breath in so many wonderfully gifted ways. In Sanskrit, it's called pranayama, and prana means breath, and yama means control. So it's basically using our breath to create many, many benefits for body, mind, and spirit. So I've been practicing yoga for over 50 years. I started when I was 13 years old, and I've been teaching it for over about 10 years. And the most prominent aspect that I teach and that I feel is true about yoga is the use of conscious breath. And this can go beyond our practice, our yoga class. This can go on in our life. We can start using conscious breath. So, in fact, when I have new students come in and they're nervous about being able to do the poses, I reassure them that if they're just in the class doing conscious breath, they have done a good yoga class. When I took Kundalini courses in college, I was just so amazed and thrilled by all the different kind of breaths I could use for different purposes and needs. So I used like stimulating breaths when I was in a boring lecture and needed to stay awake. I used calming breaths before tests or for helping me get to sleep. I used breath of fire when I was chilled. It was just so empowering to learn that I could work with my breath all on my own and have all these great benefits. So in this video series, this is my offering. I'm sharing these wonderful breaths and their benefits. Of course, there's tons more, but I'm sharing with you some of my favorite ones and the ones I use in my classes and workshops. And even if you don't do yoga, and that's fine, these breaths can be used regardless. And if you're new to yoga or experienced, these can still be of great benefit. So in this series, I start sharing at first with the more basic beginner breaths and move to more advanced breaths. You can practice each breath for whatever frequency you want, like daily, weekly, and whatever time duration that suits you. Even 30 seconds can be helpful. If you're new to breath work, I hope that you start slow and work into it, because even any kind of conscious breath has power to it. In all these breaths that I'm teaching you, it's very good to have a nice tall spine. And if you can't have a tall spine seated, you can do them in bed. I've done left nostril breathing in bed when I need to fall asleep. You can do right nostril breathing sitting in the car when you need to stay awake, and all of this is shared in the videos. So ideally, most of them you're seated with a tall spine, but it's not critical. My hope is that this series empowers you like it has all these breaths have for me, to care for our body, mind, and spirit as needed throughout our day and our life. Final word about breath. It's what I've talked about so far is one level of the benefits of breath, but there's so many more levels. Some say that each breath is an act of self-love. Breath can be a way of bringing balance to giving and receiving. We can also use breath to receive what the universe is wanting to give us, just having that intention. I breathe in what wants to come. I breathe out what needs to go. So there's so many wonderful ways to use breath. And I want to end this with this beautiful poem I just read this morning that really says a lot about the breadth of how we can use breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in spaciousness and acceptance of what is. Breathe out resistance. Breathe in possibility and optimism. Breathe out fear and doubt. Breathe in ease. Breathe out the need to change the way this moment is unfolding. Breathe in the certainty that what we really are is so much bigger than pain and suffering. Breathe out limitation and conditioning. Breathe in divinity and openness. Breathe out a prayer of thanks that even in the midst of difficulty, there is awareness. And this comes from this book, Breath of Joy by Dana Falds. I love her poetry. So have fun, explore these breaths, and enjoy the empowerment of having these wonderful tools you can use at any time. Namaste.